This video will give a brief overview of the new features available in Flex2SQL version 16. Version 16 is focused on stability and database support. The cadence of updates from all major database vendors has changed quite a bit in the last couple of years. Updates are now coming at the pace of about one major database update per vendor per year. This means that across our Flex2SQL product line, we have a minimum of 4 new database versions to test and verify each year. Additionally, all major cloud vendors now have a minimum of 2 platform-as-a-service database offerings. When you combine this with Mertech support for Linux and Windows versions of our driver across multiple operating system versions, our testing framework has grown dramatically in recent years. But we still have quite a few new features that have been added in version 16, and we're going to give you a brief overview of the major changes that will affect you. First up is support for DataFlex 19.1. As many of you know, DataFlex 19.1 has changed many language features in preparation for 64-bit support and Unicode support, and this has affected Mertech's drivers in 2 key areas. First is in relation to Mertech.inc. Now, this file has always been compatible across a very broad range of DataFlex versions, including console mode, but now it's having to be split into 2 separate files. Some of the commands and code patterns that we used in Mertech.inc have been marked as deprecated in DataFlex 19 and greater, but they're the only supported way of handling some scenarios in the console mode versions of DataFlex. Because of this and a console mode compiler limitation, we can no longer have a single Mertech.inc file. Mertech.c.inc should now be used in console mode applications, while Mertech.inc should be used in DataFlex versions that are more recent. Additionally, dfall.int now includes some bindings for the data access drivers, which collide with bindings that Mertech.inc has had in place for many years. To avoid this problem, you should now include Mertech.inc as the very first line of code in your applications for DataFlex versions 19 and up. The second key point is that we've dropped support for Flex2SQL.pkg starting with DataFlex version 19. This file is no longer included in our installer, but if you want to continue using it for older versions of DataFlex, it will be available for download on our website. This package has really outlived its usefulness and would require complete rewrite to bring it to compatibility with DataFlex 19 and 19.1. Also, we feel that those that are using the Mertech driver are better served by using the commands that are in place in our Mertech.inc file. This is really the best way of interacting with our driver. Now let's talk a bit about database support. First in line is Microsoft SQL Server. Flex2SQL version 16 adds support for SQL Server 2019. We now also support all editions of SQL Server with a single license registration code. This means that your SQL Server Flex2SQL license will allow you to connect to the Enterprise Edition, SQL Local DB, SQL Standard Edition, SQL Express Edition, and SQL Azure Database. We've also added support in version 16 for contained DB mode and failover cluster support. Now, a contained database is one that is isolated from all other databases. Effectively, it combines the functionality of the database and the database server instance into one single isolated configuration. Failover cluster support is a robust replacement for the old server mirroring setup that is not only a more reliable solution, but it's also cloud aware. This means that our driver now works with high availability database setups in the cloud, including Azure SQL Database. Lastly, our driver is now shipping with the latest MSOLE DB driver, which is Microsoft's new name for the SQL native client. Look for more videos to be released soon that show some of these features in detail. Next up is Postgresql. We've seen the demand for PostgreSQL steadily increase. It's a very fast, very reliable database server that has many enterprise-class features. And it happens to be our favorite database server to use internally. Version 12 of PostgreSQL is a great new release that includes performance improvement in indexes, online index rebuilding, and stored-generated column support. Version 16 of our driver is the first version to support Azure Database for PostgreSQL and Amazon Aurora for PostgreSQL. No special coding or licenses are needed to make use of these two new offerings. Let's move on now to MySQL. Mertech has long supported MySQL, and it's a popular database amongst our client base. Our native MySQL driver is not only blazingly fast, but it also leverages capabilities that are only available through this native MySQL interface. Version 16 of our driver supports the latest MySQL 8 releases, and now also supports Amazon Aurora MySQL, including serverless, and Amazon RDS MySQL. On a related note, we're also very happy to announce official support for MariaDB. Now, we've had some customers using MariaDB over the past few years with great success, even though it was an unsupported configuration. We're now testing releases against MariaDB, and it's a supported database server going forward. Finally, let's talk about Oracle 19c. This release is the final release in the Oracle 12.2 family of database servers. It's a long-term release focused on stability. The premier new feature in Oracle 19c is related to automatic indexing, which is an expert system for analyzing actual queries and determining which indexes are useful to keep in memory and which are not. It'll even automatically create new indexes based on the queries that it sees occurring in your database. Also, another new feature in Oracle 19c, called statement quarantining, can prevent runaway SQL statements from degrading the performance of your Oracle server. Once a statement has been quarantined, repeat statements that are of the same class as that same one can be detected and quarantined or kept from running so that your Oracle database server maintains good performance. Now, Flex2SQL version 16 drivers are available now for download. If you have a support contract, you can log into our customer portal and request an upgrade on any license that's currently under our support and maintenance contract. You can download version 16 from the customer portal as well. We'll be releasing a series of short videos and blog posts showing how to use the new features in version 16. Stay tuned for those, and thank you for watching today.